Welcome, viewers of the Awakening Empire. I give you Chapter 4 Mountain of Love. As Izuku waited outside her apartment door, Yu had closed the door after Izuku went to pack his things. So he kept thinking, was she joking or what? Little did he know, Yu was cramming her wardrobes full of rubbish and sweeping everything under the rug and bed. Right, that doesn't look that bad, she said, oozing with confidence. She opened the door and greeted Izuku. Sorry, Izuku, I was busy freeing up space in the spare room. She lit. However, the minute Izuku entered, Yu's confidence was shattered in a matter of minutes. Looking back, Yu did not do a good enough job, as she thought, as you could see dirt everywhere and there was still a few fast food boxes around the place. She just hoped that Izuku didn't notice. Well, Izuku, the room is down the hall. You can set up there, Yu said, pointing in the direction. Izuku walked down the hall and dropped his stuff on the floor. He then walked out back in the living room, where Yu was, and he was cleaning up. She then looked up and blushed from embarrassment. Sorry about the mess. I don't usually have time to cook, so I usually order from fast food restaurants, she said. Izuku then started to clean up with her. He began to open up a wardrobe when he was suddenly crushed with bags of trash. He then looked at Yu. She was clearly embarrassed, so much so she could die of embarrassment. He sighed and said, you don't have to pretend that you're perfect. No one can manage to be working all day and keep their home clean and cook meals every day. It's impossible, so I'll help clean up with this, okay? Yu only nodded while staring at Izuku. She was shocked at the fact that he was acting so normal at cleaning her room. After they cleaned the place, Izuku headed to the kitchen. He opened the fridge and saw very little food. He then opened the apartment door and Yu asked him what he was doing. Oh, I'm just gonna go shopping for some stuff. I'll be right back. As he left, Yu then fell back on the couch. That was so embarrassing. Does he know I've never had anyone over? I mean, I never even let Shinji in here. He only knows where I live because he's only dropped me home a few times, Yu thought. Her face then went bright red when she realized Izuku was the first guy that had been in her apartment. 10 minutes later, Izuku came back with 2 bags full of stuff. Hey, what you got there? Yu asked. I bought some ingredients for some food, Izuku said, lifting the bags. He began cooking, and when he finished, he put it on the table. Sorry, this is I get at the store, so I decided to make omuris, Hisadia took a bite out of it. Oh my god, Izuku, this is incredible. Where'd you learn to cook like that? She asked. Oh, well, my mom rarely came home, so I taught myself. Izuku Sadia looked away for a second, as it had become quite awkward now. She then asked him, got anything happening in UA? Well, we have a sports festival coming up, Izuku said. Oh. I hope you win in first place, Yu said. Now I won't. I mean, everyone in school is so much better than me. I'm just someone who breaks his bones when I use my quirk. I don't stand a chance, Izuku said. Well, if you keep acting like that, you'll definitely lose. Listen, Izuku, you need to have more confidence in yourself, like your quirk breaks your bones, right? So what if you hold back a little? Only use a small percentage of your quirk until you can master it. You said so. Promise me you'll win the sports festival. She said. Yeah, I'll promise, he said, smiling, but he was mainly surprised. Why didn't I think about that? It was so obvious, he thought. He finished his dinner and went to his room. He then activated his quirk. Okay, 5%. He felt no pain. 10%. He felt an immense stinging. Better be safe and stick with 9%, he thought. Time skip. The next morning, Izuku woke up and got ready for school. He made breakfast and saw a note on the table saying that Yu had gone to work. He shrugged it off and ate breakfast and went to school. As he left the apartment, he saw All Might waiting outside his apartment. Oh, Midoriya, I thought you were in this room, he said, pointing to Izuku's room. Oh yeah, I am. I mean, I was, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Why are you here? Izuku asked Midoriya. I need you to give me back one for all Might said. But you said minus. I know what I said, but my old sidekick found another worthy successor, and he shows more promise, so I'll need that quirk now. Great, someone else that has given up on me. I'll add it to my fucking collection. Izuku said, what minus? Let's make a deal. I get to keep one for all if I come in first place in the sports festival. If I don't, I'll give it back. I'll even give it back if I come in second or third. Izuku said confidently. All Might stood there stunned at what Izuku said. Either Izuku was really brave or insanely dumb. They both agreed to the terms and shook hands, and Izuku walked. Stop. School. Time skip. Arrival at I sat in class as Aizawa explained that at the sports festival. After class, Kirishima exclaimed how pumped he was for the festival. Aw man, who do you think is gonna win? Kirishima said. I think I got a pretty good shot. Kaminari said, yeah, if you don't short circuit. Jiro said smugly, whatever happens, Deku will come last. He won't even make through the obstacle race. Mocked Bakugo. Bakugo laughed at his own remark, while others didn't say anything. You know, Kachan, no Bakugo. The fact that you spend all your time thinking about the person you hate proves you aren't straight. Izuku said boldly. Everyone went dead silent. Did Midoriya just stand up for himself? Against Bakugo of all people? Everyone thought. What did you say? Bakugo yelled in anger. His face was as red as a tomato due to embarrassment. You heard me, you tsundere. Izuku said boldly. Ha. He called you a gay tsundere. Kaminari laughed out. Bakugo took a swing at Izuku, but Izuku caught his hand. Again with the right hook. I thought I told you about that. Izuku said, then flung Bakugo to the floor and looked at everyone. I don't have time to be weak. If I'm gonna win the sports festival, after all, I made a promise to someone that I'd win. He said, glaring at his classmates. Everyone was shocked at what just happened. However, Uraraka was agitated. Who did he make that promise to? She said angrily.